All right, so let go. For those of you that haven't seen the first episode, it is on YouTube, I believe. Let's dive in. Let's get clear and connected and all that amazing things, the stuff that we have the power to be elevated above everything that doesn't support us or serve us. Ego was on a scale of 1 to 10, a 1 or 2. It wasn't terrible. Felt all right though. Let's clear it out. Spaces felt great. Everything feels kind of good, despite everything going on. Moon and stuff. But yeah, everything felt great. Let's get going. Where are we going today? Oh, wow. The first one was pretty intense. It was more than I wanted it to be. Everything in my life, everything that I'm trying to accomplish, everything that I want to do, if it's tied to me letting go of my old way of living, that's going to take too much effort. I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself. And the visual was like a bunch of wheels, cogwheels. And I can't really like demonstrate this for you, but there was more than one connected to each other. But in order to do the work, in order for all of them to spin, they all needed to be present, but one was missing. And you might think that this symbolizes that it wasn't that you were doing it all alone, although we've worked on that one in the past. It's more about, do I have I don't want to say strength, more like the stamina to continue doing this work for what feels like forever. I am tired. And therein lies the deeper part, this deeper question, kind of. If you're tired, when is this going to end? Now, I don't know about all y'all, but I've been tired, as we've been saying, for a long time now. And I don't mean physically tired, although I'm tired in that way too. I am tired of having to deal with how much chaos the world seems to be wanting to create. And what's interesting about this chaos that the world seems to be wanting to create is that they also don't want to hide it anymore. Yeah, I just want chaos. Sorry if you don't like that. And I'm like, why do you have to make everything so damn hard? I don't get that. Christy said yes, too spiritually and emotionally tired. Spiritually tired is where I'm going. It's like I'm here to try and help. But Jesus, if the people out there that need help weren't making it hard, like too damn hard, because first I have to deal with this stuff myself. And now the world's crap. Because do I even have the strength to help anybody? I can barely help my damn self. Therein lies the true answer. I haven't even unpacked it yet, but the answer's already come through. You help yourself for the sake of the world. You don't help them for the sake of them. You help yourself, because then it collectively builds and builds and builds. Every time one of us does that, we've made it easier and easier and easier for the collective to find what truth they need to find. That's the truth. You do this for you, and then it helps the rest of the world around you. Although that is a truth, I am still going to unpack this because there was no unpacking and we didn't really get to the root of it. Let's see here what we get. Okay, so the first thing that's coming through is when you run out of energy to like sustain. I'm talking physically now. We're back into the body. When you run out of energy, what do? You eventually just fall asleep. You pass out. You go to your bed and I didn't even cover myself. I'm not talking about myself last night. I'm just being, in this context, I didn't even cover myself up. I just passed out. I'm exhausted. I don't have anything in me. Spiritually speaking, what do you do when you run out of energy? Stamina, life force. Does anybody know the answer to that one? It is not a fun answer, but does anybody know the answer to that one? Yes, you die. It's a very intense experience to have to go through. And I'm going to tell you why. Most people that are on these calls specifically are what I call a wanderer, more otherwise known as star seeds or crystal children, or just there's other names for them all. But I call them wanderers. One of the interesting things about being a wanderer is one of the requirements of being a wanderer, and that is being okay with being human, being on Earth, being here during the time that we've just basically explained, the difficulty, the craziness, the chaos. And what do you mean having to be okay with it? This is one of my least favorite conversations to have, and one of the longest, it's taken the longest for me to come to terms with. We're in a third density world. There is a such thing as polarity. There is a positive, there is a negative. We can't wish that away. It doesn't exist. There needs to have balance. We need to balance in this world. And so being okay with being human means being okay with being here with that balance, necessary balance. And I was talking about it to somebody recently, and we were talking about like murderers and people who do bad things. Like, how can I be okay with that? Wow, that's a great question. I'm not saying be okay with what they did. And I fully believe in needing to be reprimanded or whatever, arrest them. I don't, whatever the law is for whatever the thing that they did was, I fully believe in that. But I don't judge them for it, because they're doing a service to the planet. Really, what's the service? They're allowing me to be positive, because I don't have to do that. Because as I mentioned in the beginning, in order to be okay with being human, you have to be okay with the negative. Because if there's no negative, there's no positive, and then there's no growth for us. It's complicated, it's tough, it's difficult, it's rude, it's whatever word you want to use to describe it. But Ben, how do I become okay with it? I didn't say to become okay with it. I said, love yourself, put yourself first. Do the work for you first. And that is key to all of the stuff that we've been speaking about this in the beginning of this call. Being okay with people out there doing bad things, blah, blah, blah. Well, it has nothing to actually do with them. We're being okay with ourselves and loving ourselves enough to not see the craziness that they're creating anymore, because we're creating ourselves out of it. Okay? Very fun, but also very difficult, especially if you consume news, or if your friends do and they talk to you about it, or if you live in a community that's very active. And I do mean in terms of the news and politics and all that division. It can be difficult. I understand fully. I get it. But therein lies the reason why we're doing it. We're doing it because we're getting out of it, because we're enduring it, because we enjoy and want to feel all of the love, all of the perks of being us. And there's a lot more than we'll ever know in this reality, in this lifetime, and in this density. Elena, there is no good or bad. Exactly. I wrote a realization a while ago, one of my favorites. It's one of my smallest as well. Life is completely neutral. There is no easy and hard. There's no good and bad. Anything happening in your life that is easy or hard, good or bad, is simply your creation. And you think about all those people out there that are causing the chaos in the world. They're not causing chaos in your world. They're causing chaos in their own world. And if you feel the chaos seeping into yours, you're allowing it to, by not creating the reality that you want instead. That's why over the course of the months and years I've been doing this, I keep telling you, turn the news off. And most people say, I don't watch news. I'm like, good. It is not helpful for you in any way. Ben, I need to be informed of what? Chaos? How helpful? It's never helped us before. But Elena said there's no good or bad. There isn't. There is only one destination, and all of those roads lead to it. Good or bad, up or down, left or right, they all get to that same destination. Now, Julie's not here, and I'm always using Julie as my example. Let's use someone else in this particular case. I'm going to use Kara. You're next to me. You and I don't actually know where you live, but let's just say you live in the East Coast of the United States, and I live in the West Coast of the United States, and we both want to get to the same grocery store in the middle of the United States. Now, our roads are going to be different directions, different GPS directions, different times. Maybe there is an accident on my road, maybe there is a closed road on your road. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ups and downs and changes and turns and stuff to our directions, our travel, right? But eventually we're both going to get to the same grocery store. That's the concept I'm wanting all of us to really understand. Unity is what Mark mentioned. At the end, it is merging back with ourselves. Unity being, like the creator. Now, if we, overlay the directions to that grocery store with good and bad, I'm the bad one and Kara's the good one here. Am I still going to get to the grocery store? Yes, I am. I'm still going to make it there because I'm still on my way there. And that's wherein lies the reason why we're here doing what we're doing. Balance. Once we've moved out of third density and into fourth density, whenever that is, hopefully it's tonight. I don't know when, I'm kidding. But whenever we move back into that reality, or into that fourth density reality, realize that the negative and the positive are completely separated and that they don't mingle anymore. Well, Ben, you just said we needed that to create the balance. The balance is still created. There still is a positive and a negative. They're just not together. Wow, I'm super excited for that, right? Where I can walk out my door and see the green earth and the beautiful ocean or wherever you live and not have to worry if this is going to happen or if that's going to happen or if anything's going to bring it down or make it negative. But what I can say is, hear me when I say this. This is probably my most important thing you'll ever hear me say. If there's one thing you guys take away from this call today, it's this. What you resist persists. So the more we resist being here and being human and being in the third density, you will repeat it again and again until you let that go. Let go being the operative phrase. Remember, if you're stuck in chaos, pull yourself out of it. Do whatever it takes. I don't care if that means you get a flip phone instead of an iPhone or an Android. If that's what it takes to pull you out of the chaos, do it. But Ben, I need that for my navigations. Learn to use a map. Trust me, I would be lost without GPS. You have no idea how bad I am with directions, and it'd be very difficult for me to learn with a map. But I'd eventually figure it out. And I still have my computer. I can do MapQuest back in the day where we used to print out our directions to wherever we needed to go. There are ways to do this, but whatever it takes, we're going to want to do it. I don't know what you use to keep yourselves in the matrix, as they say, or keep yourselves informed, as they say, but whatever it is, pull yourself out of it. If you watch cable TV, turn it off, get Netflix. I don't know if that's better, but it's better because it doesn't have commercials. What I'm trying to point out to you is that we are in a space where a lot of people feel like everything's really not fantastic. Let me tell you what the powers that be, their power is, what their magic is, that they can cast these spells on us. They can't really do that kind of stuff. It's more important to understand that the power that they have is the power to control us by getting us to control ourselves through our ego. Did that make sense, or do I need to repeat that? Make sense? Thumbs up or down? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to repeat it again. The powers that be's magic, the magic that they have is the ability to get us to control ourselves by using our own ego. It's like they use our ego against us. So instead of saying, you have to do that, I'm going to make you think you have to do that by make you believe that you have to do that. Even if you don't have to do that, you're going to believe you have to do that because I'm making you believe that. Let me give you an example. I always use this example. I don't know why. I guess it's relevant to me, at least my past. Beauty standards. I've always, not recently, this was more when I was younger, I always thought, I was like, I'm hideous. I'm really an unattractive person. Because I look at the beauty standards that are presented to me specifically in the United States, but I guess it doesn't really matter. And I look at these people and I'm like, damn, I'm not what they look like. And it's a beauty standard. And it's absolute bull. It's BS. It means nothing. And so what the powers that be do, make everybody think they're ugly because they're not the curated 5 people that everybody thinks is stunning. So I'm over here thinking that I'm hideous because someone said I'm not attractive enough by me telling myself that because they put a presentation out. Okay, another belief, aging. Everybody on the planet has the same, this is a societal condition. As you age, you start to lose your memory. As you age, you start to get more stiff. Your bones and whatever those things, your ligaments and stuff tend to ache, and lots of things. Your eyesight goes, your stamina goes, everything goes as you age. Well, that's actually not true. It doesn't work that way. But it is true because we create it for ourselves that way. Does that make sense? So the powers that be are like, hey, we know that your bodies have the ability to, live to 300 years, or even technically it's supposed to be around 1,000, but they did manipulation. We talked about that on one of my previous calls. So it's about 300 years now. But then come in with belief systems. Now old people can't think, can't see, can't move. Now we all believe that. So when we get older, we can't think, we can't see, we can't move, or whatever. Now I used beauty and I used age, but there are a number of societal beliefs. In fact, I go through, in specific, sorry, I go through 12 in The Death of Ego, but I have about 20 of them. They're called societal pillars, things that we all believe that aren't real. I'm going to read you a couple because it's really intense. Love hurts. That's one of the new ones. Wow. And you might think that that means loving other people hurts, but it actually doesn't. It means loving yourself hurts. Putting you first, doing what's right for you hurts. No pain, no gain. Back to the beauty world. It doesn't, you know, it works because it hurts. Excuse me? It's not safe, so it's always fight or flight. That kind of is relevant to the conversation that we've been having all morning, or I guess afternoon or evening, wherever you are. It's always fight or flight. What do you think that does to your body? How much cortisol do you think is pumping through you? Probably more than any amount of ashwagandha can fix. I don't know. I have been abandoned by God, or I have no connection to the divine. These aren't real. But because so-and-sos, whoever they are, want us to feel that way, they push this into our reality through programming. I'm sure we've all heard of nonlinear NLP. We've all heard of what is it called? What's it called? Where it's subliminal. All these different things where people are, quote, programming us to think what they want us to think. They're not doing anything to us. Nothing's actually happening to us. We're doing it to ourselves. So now we understand what the actual matrix is. It is not some computer simulation, people in pods being life supported and living a world of my creation or their creation or your creation, whatever. That's not even what it is. Movie was great. But the real matrix is I believe what I've been told, and so I've created that reality, and I'm stuck in it. Know this. You've heard as a child, if you believe you can fly, you can fly. That's true. But this matrix that we've created for ourselves makes that untrue. It doesn't exist because we don't believe that. I don't care how much self-belief you have as an adult, you'll never be able to fly. Why? Because they have programmed into us so deeply that you're not capable of, I was going to say flying, but anything really. You know what you're capable of? Going to work, paying your taxes, coming home. That's what you're capable of. Doesn't that like resonate with the world? That's what we all have to do. Now you've seen the matrix. You've realized today the true piece of what you have to let go of. And we cycle back to the very beginning, and remember the very beginning was that we don't have what it takes. We're not strong enough. We don't have the motivation to do it. It's too damn hard. I mean, it looks like it is, right? Feels like it. I think it was both a few of y'all, but Christy, spiritually and emotionally tired. And not even bringing into the context physically tired. I guarantee you everybody's physically tired too. It starts with one and then it goes to the next and then it goes to the next. Spiritually tired first, kind of like your essence of your beingness tired, then it moves over to your emotions and your personality and your conscious, mind, and then your physical body. You're tired of overthinking. You're tired of these racing, intrusive thoughts. I'm tired of everything. I'm exhausted. Do you see why we're exhausted? If we look at this from an outside perspective, a person trying to get this to happen's perspective, because then you won't wake up. And no, I do not mean politically. I do not mean that governments are doing this and that. And I do not mean that people are out to get you. I'm talking about waking up to your own true nature. That's what I am talking about. Hence, us feeling exhausted. Let me tell you a secret. Biggest secret of the world. No one will say anything like this otherwise. Wake up, all of that stuff goes away. Your depression's gone, your exhaustion's gone, your emotions are gone. And not emotions, but like you're being overly emotional. Sad is gone. You're having to work all day long. So when you wake up, everything's gone like that. That's how truly powerful you are as a being. You are, get this, so damn powerful that instead of inflicting bad on you, I make you do it to yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? How powerful you are. I could do it to you. I really couldn't. I can't do anything, but I'm pretending that I'm the powers that be. Well, I could snap my fingers and have my army of minions come around and mess people up. You're going to do it way better than I am. You're stuck in your mind, not me. And until we wake up to that reality, we're stuck in that reality. You look at your life and you have health issues. You have financial issues, you have relationship issues, you have career issues, you have connection issues. I can't find a person, I don't think they exist, who is 100% in all areas. And I'm not saying that we all need to be 100% in all areas. That's not the intention. The intention is to find ourselves and get to going there. That's the intention. We just realized how truly stuck we actually are. Not in our own lives. That's different. That's a different level of being stuck, a lesser level. But we're actually stuck in this grand design. I don't like that, but you know what it's kind of what it is. And so it's so far that we don't even realize that the life we're living was picked out for us and in a very limited way. My concern is that my bed is, I need to replace my bed. Is that even worth thinking about in the real perspective and truthful perspective of us and what we're here to do and what we're here to accomplish and what we're actually accomplishing? Is my bed relevant? No, but I think about that. I think about my light bills due in, well, it was due on the 28th, that I think I had to pay my light bill on the 28th. I think about my rent is coming up. I think about that I need to go to the grocery store and buy food. Buy food, the word buy in air quotes, food. Does anybody think about the real perspective? Next thing is life purpose. But then I think about my life purpose all the time. No, you think about how it can take you away from your job and how it can support your life, financially speaking. We are trapped. So it's time to break free. It's time to let all of that go. In the beginning of this call, I told you I hadn't yet unpacked everything. Apparently, that took us 30 minutes to unpack. There was a lot there, you guys. It was so much. Us being held down is kind of the design. But when we realize that the real design, the real true design of us as individuals, as people, as humans, as a collective, as a unity, is more amazing than we'll ever be able to understand, because the fact that we are the creator, and we start to realize that that stuck we were feeling was us putting our thumb on top of our own heads, holding ourselves down. Obviously, a thumb is not big enough and strong enough, but it's a sample of something I had with me today. You know what I'm saying, though? We are doing it to ourselves. The powers that be have nothing to do with it. They gave us the idea, and we ran with it. I have given you a new idea. It's time to run with it. Remember, we're here doing all that we're doing for ourselves, not for anyone else. And the reason why is because if you do it for you first, then it spills out and overflows to the world around you. But it doesn't do that unless you give it to you first. You have to give it to yourself first. And then giving it to yourself first makes it 70 million, trillion, billion, quadrillion, I don't know how many times, easier for the collective to find it too. Plus, we're in a window. Add that magic window into the equation where all of these lies that we've been told and are still being told cannot and will not remain. It's not possible in the window. It doesn't exist. Every day that we progress into this window is every day things start to fall down. You've heard about banks collapsing. That's happening. You heard about, I don't want to talk about I'm not going into the news, so let's just stop at the banks collapsing thing. It's happening because that stuff cannot be sustained in this time frame. We're merging between third and fourth density. And so because of this merge, non-truth cannot continue forward. It doesn't exist in this new reality. It cannot happen. Think about that. I said non-truth. Let's just phrase it lies. You cannot lie in the fourth density positive. You cannot do it because we're all connected. If you think of it like that, telepathically even, let's just say, your thoughts are free and clear. There's no hiding anything. And you don't want to hide anything. You have nothing to hide. You're a perfect human being. Now, the powers that be have so many things to hide. But guess what? They cannot do it anymore. So now we're walking forward into our lives with this new understanding that, wait, I've had the power all along? Yes, you have. In fact, the only person who's ever had the power is you. No one's ever held power over you except you. I mentioned ego in the beginning. They may have implanted the idea, but our egos held us down. Now you realize that they were never involved in the first place in your difficulty or struggle in your life. You have any of those issues I mentioned, any of those 5 areas, walk out of it. It's that easy. You get to choose. I do understand how it sounds amazing. Like, come on, Ben, really? Yeah, I understand that what I'm saying sounds pretty damn good, because the truth of it is pretty damn good. We just have to see that and wake up to that. Hence these let go calls. I will do them as long as I'm allowed to. We will break through whatever we need to break through every single week for us to move into this new reality, for us to let go of the 3rd density and move into the 4th. I will do this up until the closing of the window, and we're all finally over there. But I can't do it alone. You have to walk forward. Once you've been unshackled, you can't stay still. You have to move. I don't know what that means for everybody, because everybody's going to get a different answer. But I do recommend that you ask your higher self. So we just got off the let go call. What can I do today to move forward into this new way of living? I don't know what that's going to be for you. It might not be what you're used to. It might not be your routine. It might not be your comfort zone. That is perfect. We need to wake up. So let's integrate that into every level of our being. Holy cow, that integrated so well in my legs, my arms, and my head. My head is like, it doesn't even feel like it's mine right now. Oh, wow. So what that was symbolizing was legs. Maybe this time you finally caught what I was saying, or maybe this time you finally caught what your higher self was saying, or maybe this time you finally understood what someone was trying to tell you. Your higher self generally is what I mean. And your legs are like, thank you for installing this truth in place of this limiting belief. It was necessary. Then it was the arms. Okay, well, I understood all of what Ben said. I understood what all of higher self was saying, but now I feel like I can actually pull it into my life. Even if I don't know what it is yet, because there is the likelihood that you don't know what that means, and that's okay. Remember what I said to ask. And then the head. The head was all of this, and I'm going to say this is an ego's perspective, stupid spiritual stuff that I've been into that's causing me stress and pain and suffering. I don't have to hold on to anybody anymore. And I don't mean that in a negative perspective, like your kids or your family or your partners or whatever. But you're going to let them do what they have to do, right? So I don't have to hold on to them anymore. Now, we cleared that last session, but it still feels like there's a little bit left. So that's what this did. Cleared it up completely. My head was like, I do not know how to explain this to you, but it felt like it had blown up. Those ones that we sit on, those pretty large balls that we sit on, well, whoever sits on them, I guess. It was that big and it felt insane. It was kind of like I wasn't in my body. Yeah, that's not even the best way of explaining it. We just know that it was fun. It was crazy. It was weird. It felt good. Let's see if there's anything else. So the first thing that's coming through for you is, remember how I said to you that the life energy, once that's gone, we die. So what am I integrating into this space? A secret energy that I cannot tell you the name of, but it is the foundation of the entire creation of the entire universe. That's the energy that I'm integrating. It is the entire creation energy. So just take a few moments while I integrate that. I want you to visualize, what color would it be? It feels like I don't know what color it is. So it's going to be different colors for everybody. Just pour that energy into the top of your head and let it fill up your feet, from your feet all the way up to your head. Ooh, it's so intense. I feel like I'm being tickled all over my body, like literally tickled. Like stop, it's too much. Let's finish. Wow. Ooh, okay. I would have assumed that that activated our pineal glands, but it had not done anything to our physical bodies. What it actually did was it activated our crown chakra fully. And I feel this energy. I'm trying to like slump down real quick. Like at the that spiral thing we all have on the back of our heads. I feel this energy like, ah, I do not know how to explain what I'm saying. It feels like this part is lit up. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like there's a sun right above it, heating it up. It feels active up here. Um, it's very intense. Now, that was from me. Margarita talked about how it was in her solar plexus. It could be someone, for anybody, it could be different. The weakest part of us is probably the most affected by that life energy, that universal life energy that we just brought in. Mine apparently was my crown. So that was intense. A little overwhelming in a good way. I don't know if overwhelming is ever good, but it was a lot, but it didn't feel crazy. Now, see if there's anything else. Let's anchor that in with the energy of gold. Okay, I feel kind of, I don't know, I feel kind of relaxed now. Like I was able to let go of a lot of energy that I wasn't supposed to hold on to. I actually feel pretty damn good. I told you in the beginning of this call, I feel like crap. Then the new moon brought, or the full moon thingy, the super moon got brought up, and I was like, oh, that's right. I actually feel release. I feel great. Physically, at least. Emotionally, I feel all right. How do we all feel? Type it in. Relaxed and content, super tired. I mean, I don't know where you live, Teresa, but fair enough. A lot of energy has just been shifted. Relaxed, really relaxed. The pressure is off, relaxed, content. Well, there was a lot there. Calm, relaxed, light, moving, at peace. That was a lot of weight. I can't express to you how heavy I felt in the beginning of this call. I literally just, and I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like, who cares? And I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to blame it on the moon, but whatever. Take responsibility, Ben. But I will say that I felt really heavy. And now I don't feel so heavy. Now I feel pretty light. So we're going to move into our meditation, our whatever, intuition booster. I really do like Mara's idea of visualizing what the fourth density looks like. That is an exciting thing I'm curious about that. Oh, so let's just see what higher self wants us to do. Looks like we're going to go for the fourth density visualization. Damn it. I say damn it in a good way. I like that one. I really do. But it's going to really challenge us. It's really going to push our minds pretty damn far. So we can see, feel, experience what the fourth density actually does look like, feel, experience what it's like to experience it. Okay, so, all right. Go ahead and find a comfortable position. Hopefully you're very able to relax. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to visualize in front of you a box with a bunch of numbers 1 through 10 in it. And in front of you is a board where those numbers can stick. I want you to dig around in that box and I want you to find the number 1. Pick up the number 1 and place it on the wall in front of you. And I want you to peel that 1 back off the board and put it back in the box. Find the number 2. Pick it up, put it on the board in front of you. Peel it back off the board and put it back in the box. The number 3. Peel it off the board and put it back in the box. The number 4. The number 5. Now, every number that you peel off that board, before you put it on that board, it's going to get bigger and bigger until we get to the number 10 eventually, and it's the biggest it fits on the board. The number 6, bigger than all the numbers before. Put it back in the box. The number 7, bigger still. It's getting a little heavier as you pick them up. The number 8. The number 9. Fill that off the board and put it back in the box. And now find the number 10, the heaviest yet. Pull it up from the box and put it on the board. Pull it off the board and put it back in the box. Now what I want you to do is I want you to turn around, and in front of you, you'll find a door. This door is beautiful, stunning. I do not know what it looks like. It's ornate. It might have flowers and leaves and trees and life and maybe even kittens and puppies and little otters. I don't know. But it symbolizes the third density, everything that you've come to enjoy about being here. That could potentially be ice cream, the beach, friends and family. But I want you to see them all on that door in front of you, ornately carved, beautiful. Everything that we enjoy, everything that we love. And I want you to find behind that door a hallway. So when you open it, there's a hallway. At the end of that hallway is another door. That door is the door to the fourth density. So go ahead and open that door. Remember that all of that stuff that we held on to, that we love, we're leaving behind in the third density. And we're going to find exactly what we're supposed to find in that doorway in front of us. So walk down that hallway. As you do, you start to feel light, giddy, excited, fun energy, just naturally, because we're moving into that higher density energy, and it feels really amazing. Go ahead and open that door and walk in. What do you see? Do you see plants? Are you in a room? Is there music playing? Are you alone? Are there people with you? Do you know them if there are people with you? What does it smell like? What do you hear? I feel really light, kind of like I'm on a smaller planet with less gravity. I feel really like, I think the majority of what's holding us down is actually energetic when we're back in the third density, because I weigh the same, but I feel so much lighter. What do you feel? The air kind of tastes for me. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but the air has a flavor. I can't really name that flavor though, but it is great. It's just this weird feeling, this like overwhelming feeling of complete bliss, joy, peace. It's kind of like a fog of peace. It's weird. It's kind of, it feels kind of dense, I guess, but not in a negative way. In a very like special and important way. A very deep breath all the way into your bellies and then up into your lungs. Hold it for a moment and then slowly let it go. And with it, all of the tension that you are resistant to letting go, moving into this beautiful new reality, feeling weightless, but yet also in, I don't know, in a space of creation. Feeling the energy of the flow. Everything just feels so smooth and peaceful. It's almost something that I don't want us to pull out of. And while you're in this space, I want you to visualize that your body is repairing itself from all of the stuff that we created ourselves for ourselves in the third density. It starts to feel very whole. Now, if you're having emotional stuff in the third density, your head, your emotions, your subconscious mind also being healed. If you want to visualize your subconscious mind as in your brain, then go ahead and heal that area of your body with just being in this space. Ooh, I forgot to ask, what do you look like? What are you doing? What are you wearing? Are you the same you? Are you the same you, but taller, perhaps? I don't know. I want you to remember that you can always come back to this moment in this time in this space. If necessary, rewatch this meditation on YouTube again. But you don't have to feel like you're leaving this place to come back to where we are. Bring it with you. Imagine being able to put it in a little box, and that little box can fit into your pocket. Bring it with you, always and forever. I want you to turn back around, find that door that we entered into the fourth density, and then the hallway behind it. I want us to walk back into the third density, come back into the third density, close that door, and then go ahead and open your eyes. Perfect, happy, healthy, vital. If you're getting ready to go to bed, then maybe perfectly tired. The intuition booster, when I did it, it felt very grounding. In fact, more grounding than probably ever before. I can't say whether or not that was the intuition booster or the fact that I was actually grounding when I did it, because I have a grounding mat underneath my feet. But I don't think I've ever felt as connected to the earth as I had in that moment. Quite an intense experience for me. Mind-blowing almost. It was just like, wow, this is probably one of the most intense intuition boosters that I've ever felt. I didn't really get the opportunity to visualize a lot because I was doing the intuition booster, but there was a lot that I could feel, kind of like, I don't know, atmospheric stuff almost. We'll say, like in the atmosphere, I could feel some things, and the healing was quite an intense thing for me. I think we should all do something very relaxing, whatever that may mean. I don't know. With that, I will get this video up on YouTube as fast as I can, in case anybody wants to rewatch that. And I'll see you all next week. Remember, invite people. Talk to y'all later.